Tonight we are in Manhattan on the campus of Hunter College in Lexington Avenue, where tonight CUNYathletics.com presents the 2017 CUNY Men's Volleyball Championship match. And it's a perennial powers meeting tonight as the Hunter College Hawks, the defending champs, the #1 seed at 26-6, they take on their bitter rivals, the Baruch College Bearcats, coming in at 10-16 overall. And with that, hello and welcome everybody here to Hunter College. Alongside Patrick Dietz, I'm Ralph Vidnarchik. Well, here we are again for the 11th time, Patrick, in the last 13 seasons, Hunter and Baruch decide who goes on to the NCAA tournament. This year it's been a veteran Hunter team that swept through the regular season, but a young Baruch bunch appears like they might give them a challenge.
And it's a challenge that everyone's been waiting for. We know it's going to be the Battle of Lexington year in and year out. This isn't just a perennial battle. It's a holy war. It's a feud. And we want to see which one of these teams today is going to bring their best level, their highest level, in lieu of going to the NCAA tournament. I have a feeling that Hunter team, led by some strong seniors, is looking to sweep this one tonight. But look out for that runner-up, that MVP runner-up in Stephen Roach, and that Baruch team looking to upset them here at home.
And for that Baruch team, it's been a transitional process. Both programs have first-year head coaches. For Baruch, only returning 3 starters from a year ago, they put so much on the shoulders of junior right side Stephen Roach, and he'll need to perform tonight.
And his numbers in the first 2 matches against Hunter were not great. Negative .077. For a right side hitter, that's unheard of. Right sides are generally very strong hitters, but he had changed roles. Last year, Stephen Roach, this great, beautiful player from out west in Huntington Beach, came over and was actually the starting setter for Baruch. This year he went from being starting setter to being the starting right side when they switched over. Now the question is, can he raise his level? Can he be at the level he needs to be to help Baruch win?
And meanwhile for Hunter, 5 starters back from last year's team, a veteran bunch, a number of players playing at an All-American level, but middle blocker Stephen Tarquinio was last year's tournament MVP. He is back looking to add another NCAA.
And he is Hunter's Mr. Do-Everything. And when I say Mr. Do-Everything, he blocks because of his huge length. His vertical is insane. This young man goes over the block consistently. And because of that, he is able to hit from anywhere on the court. The question right now is, can Hunter's passing allow the usage of Stephen Tarquinio, who's probably their best All-American prospect, be more consistent at the net and help lead this team?
Should be a great one. Here we go again. It is Hunter and Baruch. Will Hunter repeat or Baruch steal one here on Hunter's home floor? Winner off to the NCAA tournament, and we have it for you next on CUNYathletics.com.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that? Now the Dolphins break in as it's Wisakowski who drills it in. Trip, nice move, and finished. Nice pass, Moore with the jam. Yeah. Guys, the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Harani.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
Because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that? And now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in. Trip, nice move, and finished.
Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah. Guys, the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Harani.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Hi, I'm John Starks.
What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
We are almost ready to go tonight on CUNYathletics.com for the 2017 CUNY Men's Volleyball Championship match. Ralph Bednarczyk alongside Patrick Dietz back with you for another season after a tremendous run through the regular season by the #1 seeded Hunter College Hawks. They are here taking on Baruch for the 3rd time this season on their home floor in a scheduling quirk the way it ended up this season. Patrick, as we talked about in our open, for these two teams, it was about Baruch rising to the occasion here. We'll see if this young Baruch bunch has grown up after being swept and losing in 4 sets already to Hunter this season.
Well, the question really, and we had talked to Coach Kevin Edwards of Baruch, is how can Baruch eliminate Hunter's ability to run their offense? And from what he told us, to rise to that level, they have to learn to not serve Joseph Muir. They have to learn to not serve that libero. He is by far one of the best liberos I've seen in a long time come through the CUNY conference. The young man basically dominated last year in this same championship game. And you know, his numbers don't always look very gaudy in terms of digs, but it's how he controls the game with his ability to pass and give Sanchez the opportunity to set Stephen Tarquinio and establish that offense.
Let's have a look at the Baruch starting lineup today. And head coach Kevin Edwards in his first season has been going through a lot of different names, but there, number 10, Brendan Murphy is taking over as the first-year starting center. He's joined in the outside tonight by Nathaniel Chin, a sophomore from Flushing, New York, as well as sophomore Nick Godino, who had a big final last year from Plainview, New York, on Long Island. The right side hitter is Stephen Roach, the 2-year starter, first-team all-CUNY right side hitter, and he's joined by Jacob Marichal Rudin in the middle blocker, and Samuel Rabidou, a junior middle from Rochester, New York. The libero is 5'11" sophomore from Stony Brook, New York, Kyriakos Semertsidis for the Baruch College Bearcats. Now the Hunter College Hawks on their home floor. They'll be the host team and the number 1 seed. Stephen Tarquinio is the senior middle blocker who is a 4-year starter, and he'll be joined up front by the other fellow middle blocker, Brandon Kohler, who did not play in the semifinal and did not play at all last season due to shoulder issues and shoulder surgery. The center is Nicholas Sanchez, a 2-year starter out of Environmental Studies High School in Manhattan. The starting right side is Brent Crusenberry, all the way from Lincoln, Nebraska. And the 2 outside hitters that'll be so vital tonight to see if they could step up their games, Ben Cassidy, a junior from Agawam, Massachusetts, and Michael Yazgarski, a junior outside hitter from Woodhaven, New York, and the terrific libero you were mentioning, likely All-American, the 2017 CUNY Player of the Year, the first to ever get it as a libero, Joseph Muir. So that is a look at the Hunter College Hawks tonight under head coach Austin Voges in his first season coaching this program. So we're about ready to go. From an emotional standpoint, we understand that Hunter is on their home floor, a Baruch young team that also will have to deal with that because they haven't necessarily played in this environment versus 5 returning Hunter starters that played in an epic 5-set comeback a year ago.
And you would think that 2 teams that have first-year coaches would have struggles in creating chemistry, but neither one of these coaches have had that issue. They've worked their ability to build that chemistry, to build that ability for each of these players to really get into a groove and a rhythm and support each other, which I think has been phenomenal for both of these programs. Austin Voges, the head coach for Hunter, came from Stevens Tech, a perennial NCAA Division III ranked program every year. Austin Voges' knowledge and skill at that level of always constantly playing against the top is what's helped build this chemistry for this Hunter program. Kevin Edwards, the head coach for Baruch, comes from an international background, coaching for the Trinidadian national team and playing for the Trinidadian national team internationally. So he knows how to build that chemistry. He knows how to take these players, and no matter who he has on the court, he's going to believe that they're going to give him the best opportunity to win. So what I'm waiting to see is, can Baruch's offense step up to the plate and play at that All-American level?
It has not so far through 2 regular season meetings, but so much can change in a given championship. It was just last year that Hunter stunned a veteran Baruch team in 5 sets, 15-7 in the 5th after trailing 2-1, down and out of it, so you never quite know what will rise to the top the way these Hunter players did under first and only year head coach James Pompeo. So here we are at the Hawks' Nest. The 2 teams have been introduced, and we're about ready to go. The winner off to the new 12-team NCAA Division III Men's Volleyball Championship. That's up 2 more teams, with Division III Men's Volleyball experiencing a tremendous growth. There is now 83 teams, and it's become ultra competitive. But the feeling is, should Hunter fall here tonight, they would still be on the outside looking in, perhaps the first team left out in the NCAA at-large bubble. There are only 4 spots available at large. It looks like Hunter would fall just shy of that, so they need to be in the must-win mode.
They are basically, even though they're the top seed in the conference, they are basically still in a major hunt to guarantee their opportunity. So they're not going to go into this championship going, oh, you know what, even if we lose, we're going to go in. No, they know that they have to go in and play the highest level of volleyball they can. And to be honest with you, if Joseph Muir, the libero for Hunter, has the same level of play and game that he had last year when they rallied back 2 down, I don't see them not getting to that NCAA tournament. He controlled that ball on offense. He had some spectacular digs on defense. He was able to put that ball in Sanchez's hand, the Hunter setter, and they were able to set their all-star, super-duper, no one can stop me middle in Steven Tarquinio. If this happens again, it'll just be a repeat, maybe even a sweep.
Hunter and the home whites, they've won the coin flip. They're getting ready to serve with their terrific setter, Nicholas Sanchez, 2-time first-team All-CUNY. The up official is Bruce Henelt. The down official is Russell Rodriguez. Left-handed swing is out of bounds there off of Baruch's Nick Gondino, who did not get the set he liked. And it is a 1-0 start for the Bearcats, or should say for the Hawks.
Sorry about that, Ralph. It was actually a very solid pass. They weren't able to, Brendan Murphy actually pushed that ball just slightly past the antenna. Gardino, who had a great final last year, tried to extend his left arm and pull that ball back in. Just a little unlucky.
We're even at 1 after the kill from Jacob Marischal Rudin, junior middle blocker out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Now to jump it up, setter Brendan Murphy goes down the line. Sanchez to the outside, and the first swing goes down for Ben Crusenberry. Also just named for the 2nd time in his career, first-team All-CUNY. He's 8th in the conference in hitting.
Well, you saw right there the game plan that Baruch is going to put into effect is not serve Joseph Muir. Problem is, they can't serve lollipop balls where the setter's going to be able to just, the passer's just going to be able to use their hands and pass an easy ball.
Baruch swings wide. That's Nick Gondino, and it is a 3-1 start for Hunter. And the Hawks turn to Michael Yezgarski, a junior outside hitter, a transfer from NYU. Didn't play there much at all, but he's a very raw talent that has had flashes of brilliance. This one also swung out of bounds by Gardino, and for Baruch to hang in, as Coach Kevin Edwards has said, when Gardino plays well, we do well.
And that's because of his ability to transition bad sets into good sets. He's had 2 very bad swings, probably trying to do a little too much on his first 2 swings.
Service error from Yezgarski makes it a 4-2 start to this opening set tonight. The 2 teams know one another so well, meeting in the championship for the 11th time in the last 13 seasons. Here's Gondino, float serve at Muir. Outside, the tip coming. Nice touch from Ben Cassidy. Now to the right side it came for Stephen Roach. Muir outside, and the swing for Crusenberry, and a net violation is called against Baruch.
And this is probably the kind of rally that Baruch's going to need to win. Something where it's a very basic back and forth. Not a lot of big swings, but good placement. They have to learn and get the opportunity while this match is going on to score points on these transitional plays.
They score there. That's a nice swing to make it 5-3. Stephen Roach, just remarkable for a great player to hit minus 077 in 2 matches. Hunter coach Austin Voges said number 2 is definitely at the top of our scouting report.
And he has to be. His ability to hit basically anywhere on the court is why they need to lock him down.
Roach with a tip shot. Sanchez to the outside. And there's a swing from Crusenberry. Battle at the net. And then the big block, that's Tarquinio putting on the roof early on Nathaniel Chin.
it's scary to watch Steven Tarquinio block because you wouldn't expect to see a young man at the Division III level get his neck on the other side of the net the way he does. He extends so far beyond the plane that if it's not a good set, he's going to roof you.
Ben Crusenberry serving. Outside and a nice quick set right to the middle. They're able to get Samuel Rabidou. He's a junior middle from Rochester, New York. Spencer Post High School, where he came out through the PACE Bootlegger program, probably the top club program in that volleyball-rich area.
One of the top programs run by Cal Wickens, who's the head coach at Nazareth College and the head coach of that men's program. He's going to have to probably be their X factor. Rabidou's definitely going to have to be their X factor because if they can get him moving the block of Tarquinio here and there, then they'll be able to free up Stephen Roach and Nathaniel Chin and Gaudino on the wings for more opportunities to swing.
That was Ben Cassidy right into the antenna. The hitting error makes it 6-5 Hunter in the early going. The jumping up, Roach. Good pass to the front, Sanchez. Tarquinio rising. They were waiting for him on a double block. Down the line, though, Ben Cassidy redeems himself. A 3-year starter. He's 4th in the conference at hitting at .257.
And he's probably going to be the person that helps alleviate some of the strain and stress of Tarquinio when he's front row. He's got to be able to put balls away from that outside position.
Kim is able to touch, but there's a nice pancake from Crusenberry. Murphy tried to dump again. There was Crusenberry. So Baruch with a reset. Murphy inside, and the swing is blocked on Rabidou. Roach to the outside, and Sanchez fights it off. Sanchez then swinging, well out, and Baruch wins a long rally.
And a great win on that rally. It was one of the situations where you basically put the other team in an off-set situation or an out-of-system situation where they have to constantly set within your defensive base, where now you know where they have to go, and now you can set up your block. Great job by Baruch right there.
This is sophomore Nathaniel Chin, who got the start in the semifinals and tonight. Tarquinio, look at him rise and go, 8-6.
Coming from the offside of the setter, rising and elevating. His one ball would be what we consider a second tempo or 2 ball for other hitters. He's just catching that ball at the top of the antenna.
And miscommunication there by Baruch in serve receive. And Hunter has opened up a 3-point lead.
One of the things that Coach Kevin Edwards of Baruch said that he likes is the matchup of his serve receive against Hunter's serving because they don't serve super tough balls. Right there, it failed him.
Tarquinio gives the point back with a service error to make it 9-7. Steven Tarquinio last year hit .348 with 12 kills to be the championship game MVP. Sanchez, and a short service there by Crusenberry. Murphy out to Roach. Tip shot handled there by Muir. Crusenberry, as he tried to cut it across, no touch. And Baruch wins another long point to cut within 1.
Now the reason that worked out so well for Baruch was because Stephen Roach, instead of going and swinging on a really tough low set, was able to just tip it right over the block and put Hunter in a bad situation. Great pass. And now you're setting your other big-time middle, Brandon Kohler. Baruch's going to have to improve their service location and service speed. It's just too soft right now.
Kohler came all the way back from missing last season with shoulder surgery. He's had a second-team all-conference season. Now he comes up with a block. He's out of Westlake Village, California. They got him back into it slowly. Now he's playing great. He is leading CUNY in hitting at .470. Which is good for 3rd in the country.
The Moore Park College transfer he's just worked his way back into the starting lineup. He's just worked his way back into being the same hitter he was when he transferred here originally.
That's Ben Cassidy right from the back. He gets the swing. A first set high 4-point lead for Hunter leads to a Baruch timeout.
There isn't a lot of pace right now, Ralph. There isn't a lot of pace and tempo coming from the Baruch attack. So they need to do that. They need to improve their attack pace and really put some pressure on Hunter.
12-8, Hunter with the early lead on CUNYathletics.com.
three. Oh, how about that?
Now the Dolphins.
There is first-year head coach Austin Voges, this season's CUNY Coach of the Year. Congratulations to the coach. He essentially was recruited to take the job by his senior middle blocker, Steven Tarquinio. He reached out to coach after Tarquinio was coached by Austin back when he was 13 years old on the Long Island club circuit. Another player, Blake Hogan, was also coached by him at the club level, so there was some familiarity. But for Voges, as there's the error by Kohler, but Voges has taken over a team that was essentially a ready-made team to win and has brought it to this spot.
And Coach Voges comes from good stock in terms of coaching background. Not only did he coach these young men at the club and high school level, but he also has coached at a high Division III level, coaching at Stevens Tech as an assistant for a couple of years. When Stevens was one of the higher ranking Division III programs out there and constantly in the mix for the NCAA title when it first became a possibility. Coach Voges, and I've spoken to other players, Sebastian Vargas, who's one of the alternates on the Hunter team, has said he just knows volleyball and he knows how to get us ready and he puts us in a good position for ourselves. We're just growing every day, and you see it in the way we play.
That's Nick Gondino trying to get himself going with the kill. That's his second after he started off poorly. So it is a 13-10 Hunter lead about midway through this opening set. Gondino, and he'll give it back with a service error at 13-11.
Ralph, I'm going to say this right now, and it's really one of those things that happens in a championship game when you have a young team. They're putting a lot of pressure on themselves to execute their game plan, but because they're putting so much pressure, they're not focusing on just executing. Right now, Baruch is struggling with that. I can believe that this is what Coach Edwards was saying in the timeout. Relax and play volleyball. Just let it happen.
Sanchez, and that one just pushed down. Look at the elevation from Ben Cassidy, but they're going to call they did call a lift there.
Well,
so that'll give it to Baruch College to make it, should be 14-12. And it is, they've changed the score. Here's an overpass, and this one is slammed back. It came right to Nathaniel Chin, so that's a big 2-point swing to bring Baruch within one.
You're looking at the game plan. Keep the ball away from Joseph Muir. Serve at Ben Cassidy. Make 13 of Hunter. Have to pass every ball.
This time they target Rerick. He's the DS. And right back for a kill, Ben Crusenberry. Puts Hunter back up by 2 at 15-13.
Even though the result wasn't what Baruch wanted, they still got an out-of-system set. They were able to set up their block. Maybe next time they will be able to penetrate and keep Crusenberry from getting that kill.
Third kill for Ben Crusenberry to lead all players. Another service error, and that is Crusenberry making it 15-14. So that has been a little contagious so far in this opening set.
This is just a typical thing that happens between these two teams. They go at each other so hard that sometimes they miss a lot of serves.
Stephen Roach, he was runner-up for Player of the Year to Joseph Muir as he uncorks a very good serve. Crusenberry, handled there by Roach with a good pass. Chin, and the block lands. Oh, check that, just out. It was angled towards the edge of that sideline, so we're tied at 15.
There goes that service game that they're talking about, and of course it's Stephen Roach who's going back there and executing at that high level, finding those tough seams, keeping the ball away from Joseph Muir, probably the top libero in CUNY.
Roach, as he said for Cassidy, there's Tarquinio. There was nobody there, and he stuffs it to put Hunter back by 1.
To watch the elevation of this young man on a good set is a beautiful, wondrous thing to watch. He just went high, hard into that seam.
Murphy out to Chin, and he wins the one-on-one battle on the setter, Sanchez.
And that is what happens when Baruch gets a very good pass and they're able to run in system. They've been setting Rabidou so consistently, the middle for Baruch, that now Chin gets a one-on-one against a smaller blocker in Sanchez.
And Chin, Coach Kevin Edwards likes his active presence in the front row. He's a little bit bigger than the other outside hitter he's been vying with, Stephen Lopez. As look at that play by Semertidis, the libero, to climb the wall. And Baruch is going to win the point with Yasgarski sending it out.
That is the kind of seminal play in the early parts of a match where a young libero, similar to Joseph Muir, is giving the same kind of hustle to help his team emotionally. Great way to win the play, but bad way to lose the play on Hunter's part. Michael Jaskarski, the outside, had a nice seam. He had to put that ball away.
17-16, it leads to a Hunter timeout. We're back with more on CUNYathletics.com.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn, and guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more.
So here is first-year head coach of Baruch, Kevin Edwards, a longtime international player for the Trinidad and Tobago team from '96 to '09. He was an assistant on the men's and women's side on the John Jay staff, 3 years at NYU Poly. So he was a known quantity here to the New York City volleyball scene. And he thought this job was an excellent challenge as Tarquinio out of the timeout converts. And we're tied at 17.
And the reason Coach Edwards feels like this is, and I agree with him, it's because of the level of athlete that Baruch has the ability to get. He wants to be able to take that level of athlete and make them even bigger than what they are. Have them run a higher level offense. And of course, you could see the energy that he's already given these young men, the ability to work well together.
Meanwhile, Brandon Kohler's tip shot went out of bounds, and Baruch has soared to grabbing the lead late in this opening set at 18-17. Yasgarski, Sanchez, and Kohler redeems himself.
Great pass, great set. Kohler came hard to that angle, and because he had been hitting a cutback shot cross body, the middle blocker leaned a little bit more than he should have.
Chin, nice pass to the front. And Gaudino, that was a good prime swinging position for him. And a missed opportunity to put Hunter back in front.
One more time, a good pass, gave Brendan Murphy, first-year setter, he hasn't set since his sophomore year in high school, an opportunity to run a very good offense.
And that's more likely. That is Nick Gaudino to tie it up at 19. Last year he had a terrific final with 17 kills, second on the Baruch team in the 5-set loss. He only hit 182, but boy, he really carried them at times last year.
And he was an emotional spark for a young freshman. He kept on finding the right seams. He kept on finding the right place to put that ball on tough sets and against this same Hunter team.
That's Ben Cruzenberry with another kill. Fourth on his night to make it 20-19. Back and forth, late stages of this opening set. Murphy, now Gaudino. He is starting to get warmed up.
And the Baruch serve receive is starting to warm up. Every ball right now has been somewhere near that center logo, that Hunter logo, putting it right in a great spot for Brendan Murphy to be able to pick and choose his hitters.
Gaudino, the question Kevin Edwards has for him, keeping that mental focus for the entire match. Sanchez only punched across by Kohler. Here's the chance for Baruch. Roach, and he can only set it across. Sanchez out to Cassidy. Joust to the net, Cassidy. And Semertidis put it out of bounds.
That is the type of play that you would expect from this game. in all fairness, Roach, his numbers are going to be deceptive right now. He's taken, I think, 8 or 9 swings. He only has 1 kill, but none of them have been errors. All of his swings have been challenged. So Hunter's game plan is to take Roach and force someone else on Baruch's team to win.
Roach just picks up number 2 to tie it up at 21. The early numbers on Stephen Roach, his second, and hitting close to 200, which is much better than the minus 077 through 2 matches. As Tarquinio's swing is fought off. Chin, off hands. And the swing is blocked in bounds. Samuel Rabidou is able to cover Ben Cruzenberry.
That was a great set by Joseph Muir from deep middle back. I think the point went to Hunter. The point did go to Hunter. They said the block ball went out and not in. Either way, it doesn't change the fact that that was a great set from the middle of nowhere.
The up official, Bruce Henelt, making the call. He's right there. As the booming serve by Cruzenberry there. That will count for Rabidou to tie it up at 22.
Don't tell me that Brendan Murphy, the setter for Baruch, hasn't set since his sophomore year in high school. He is making extremely smart decisions. It's probably because his head coach was a setter for the Trinidad national team. So he's taught this young man how to find the right hitters in the right situations.
Stephen Roach, good serve to jump it up. And Cruzenberry has to give up a free ball. Here's the chance for Chin. It lands out. And Baruch is back in front late in the first.
Poor serve receive puts you in poor offensive situations. That's what happened right there.
Stephen Roach, can Baruch grab a 2-point lead? They have not had that. Down the middle at Rarick. Tarquinio. And Baruch gets the up. However, a free ball. Hunter looking for the tie. Tarquinio, it's an overpass. The chance for the Bearcats. Murphy out to Chin. Sanchez, he'll dump. We're tied at 23.
The goal is to make sure Joseph Muir, the libero for Hunter, doesn't touch a volleyball. It's really hard to do when the guy controls 80% of the court. However, we talked about this in the open. Stephen Roach is basically matching Hunter on his own, play for play.
Murphy right back with a dump. And Baruch has set point in the first.
How does that song go? Anything you can do, I will do better. Brendan Murphy went up with both hands and last minute drops his right arm, finds the seam, and softly pushes the ball past the block.
It's the sophomore Nathaniel Chin. What a choice by Kevin Edwards to start him at outside hitter today. Sanchez. Tarquinio is blocked, and Baruch steals the opening set.
You know that once they get a good pass, their number one option is going to be Stephen Tarquinio. They have committed a double block to Stephen Tarquinio. It's now up to Sanchez, knowing this little bit of information, to find a way to get his one-on-one game going on with his outsides and the Baruch wing blockers.
Baruch climbs out of a 4-point mid-first set hole and take the first at Hunter. We're coming back with second set action. You're watching the 2017 CUNY Men's Volleyball Championship match on CUNYathletics.com.
I'm John Starks.
What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that?
the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice move, and finished. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah. Guys, the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Harani.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
We're about to start the second set as Baruch stole the first from top seed and home team Hunter tonight, 25-23. Ralph Bednarczyk alongside Patrick Dietz. 206 hitting for Hunter in the first, 226 for Baruch. Patrick, what was the difference?
Stephen Roach. Stephen Roach, number 2, the right side, backup setter, Mr. Do Everything for Baruch College. He literally executed their service plan, hitting hard jump serve seams away from Joseph Muir. Even though he only has 2 kills on 8 attempts, none of them are errors. They're all good controlled hits when they need, and he's hitting above 200. Everything we talked about in the opening that he needs to do, he's done.
Brandon Kohler, meanwhile, just hit another ball into the net. He gets another chance. This one ricochets across, but they're going to call that a double hit against the back row. So Kohler redeems himself again. We're tied at 1.
Great dig by the Baruch libero. That was a phenomenal swing on a really tough hard cross court.
Murphy to Godino, and that time in the back row, Cassidy got it. Free ball coming Baruch's way. Murphy outside it went to Roach. Double block was waiting. Tied at 1 early in the second set. Sanchez back for Kohler. Well, Brandon Kohler missing all of last year, particularly with a shoulder surgery to Patrick. How about for a middle blocker, someone that swings a lot? How about his process to come back?
His process was really tough. I had a chance to talk to Brandon over the summer after the surgery, and one of the things that he was afraid of was that he wasn't going to have the shoulder strength, let alone the range of motion to hit the types of shots middles need to hit. You know what? Him coming from Moore Park, California, him playing for that junior college out there, he already knew what it was like to play at a high level, so it didn't scare him to play, but what he was worried about was his durability, and he's lasted so far this year.
Service error by Nicholas Sanchez, the Hunter setter, and it's a 3-2 Hunter lead. And back for Baruch, they go to Nick Gondino, named second team All-CUNY just yesterday out of Long Island Power Plainview JFK High School. Outside Cruzenberry, he leads all players with 5 kills. Roach trying to tip. Sanchez in the middle, and that is more like Brandon Kohler.
And that is exactly what Hunter wants. They want to make sure that they're able to run that middle attack in system almost every ball.
Murphy inside for Marichal Rudin, and that misses wide. No block there on Jacob Marichal Rudin, so a missed opportunity. And Hunter has started fast at 5-2. Nathaniel Chin, also wide. So a couple of hitting errors. And for the Bearcats, they have been searching for consistency on the outside all year. They've rotated through a number of people. Kevin Edwards switched midway through the season from a 5-1 to a 6-2, or I should say the reverse 6-2 start, now to a 5-1 offense. As he got to learn his pieces, he only took the job over in late December after the November fall period and practice period was already passed.
Exactly, and during that time, he had to find the right. Oh, heads up, Ralph. Sorry. He had to find the ball just hit. Sorry, Ralph. He wasn't looking to protect you there. He was looking to find the right combination. Again, we talked about the chemistry of the team. When he discovered that Stephen Roach was struggling as a setter, he switched to 6-2. And then when he noticed that Brendan Murphy was getting stronger as a setter, he decided to make Stephen Roach his all-time right side and let Brendan Murphy be the full-time setter. And since then, the rhythm, the chemistry, the way they run their offense has come with a little more crispness, with a little more direction.
Stephen Roach just had the last kill for Baruch. And he has brought the Bearcats within 7-4. And he blasts a good one at Cassidy. To the outside, Crusenberry. He cuts that one across beautifully.
Hunter's serve-receive ability is starting to go up. I would say that maybe they were passing in the low 2s earlier. Now they're probably passing in the mid 2, 2.6, 2.5 range, which allows them to run that middle more consistently, but it also opens up the wings.
Crusenberry, good up there from Semertsidis. Nice up in the redirection, and Tarquinio will get that ball across. But they celebrate Austin Rarick's terrific second ball in the back row.
That was look what I got. And it came right off of Austin Rarick. And sure enough, Johnny on the spot, Stephen Tarquinio pushing that ball deep past the libero.
Ben Crusenberry wanted the New York experience, coming all the way from Lincoln, Nebraska, where he was recruited by former head coach Ray Bello, who left 2 years ago to take an assistant's job for the Fordham women at the Division I level. And Crusenberry could have gone anywhere like Carthage, all the big Midwest programs, but wanted the city, and he stuck to his New York City experience. As Chin off the tape, there's Rarick with the dive, and Cassidy drops it in the corner.
Beautiful shot by Ben Cassidy. High extension, high reach. Instead of cranking away and maybe hitting the ball flat, he puts a lot of pace and topspin into it and drops it into the deep cross-court corner.
So Hunter has its largest lead of the night now at 5. Cassidy again. Outside Gaudino. And just a bit out of sorts. So as we look over here, Baruch is not going to call the timeout yet.
Nick Gaudino's struggling with his arm swing. He's trying to find the right slot to hit that ball.
Gaudino gets another chance. And that time it goes off of Sanchez. So a good job by Murphy to go back to him. And to try to find some sustained success.
Rule is if your guy hits a ball out, you go back to him, give him a chance to redeem himself. If he hits it into the block or misses it wide, you don't go to him a third time. You let him relax, then give him a chance, maybe 2 rotations later.
Service error by Samuel Rabidou makes it 12-6. Brendan Murphy, Gaudino, and this one off hands. Sanchez regroups. Yazgarski, and his tip pinballs around. They'll say only 3 contacts. Gaudino, he gets a tip anyway. Able to win a one-on-one outside.
And able to find that line, a little high flat into the corner. Good transitional game right now for Baruch. I think they need to start working that just like they did in the first set.
Short service by Murphy. Kohler, tip shot. And the pancake by Semertsidis almost worked. And back to a 6-point lead for the Hunter Hawks, who have gone 10-2 this season on their home floor, 8-0 in CUNY conference play. They sit here at 26-6, but they must win this match tonight to reach the NCAA tournament. As Nick Gaudino gets a touch there at 13-8. Our score, Baruch, well, they would stun some people around the Division III men's volleyball world if they won this championship tonight. And Hunter, as we said early in the first set, they would be left out likely as the first team out when you look at a Division III bracketology.
And unfortunately, even with that great record and wins against 2 ranked programs, the teams above them, above Hunter right now, have better wins against better competition. And because of that, it just puts Hunter in a really bad situation.
Nathaniel Chin just picked up the kill. That's his 5th. 14-9. with Jacob Marichal Rudin. They call him Ladybug as his nickname. First full-year starter as the middle blocker.
Ladybug?
Yep, not an imposing nickname for a middle blocker, is it? Muir setting, Cassidy. That's the setter that just delivered a great, or rather the libero that just set a great ball outside.
Kept his feet outside the 10-foot line, squared up to his target. He made everyone lean one way and left. Look at him celebrate right there. And left his better outside, Ben Cassidy, the guy who really stepped up last year in the same final. Crank hard cross court against a one-on-one block.
Joseph Muir with the play. He takes a bow. Timeout Baruch. 15-9 Hunter looking to even up our championship match tonight.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's. Yeah. Gotta go to Moe's.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
There, number 2 in purple is the 2017 CUNY Men's Volleyball Player of the Year, Joseph Muir. Only goes 5'5" from Encino, California. He's blocked right now, but he has a terrific game. The first libero to ever capture the Player of the Year award. As outside, this is Stephen Roach picking up the kill to make it 15-10, Hunter. What makes Joseph Muir a likely All-American?
He is the human vacuum cleaner. There is no way that a ball will go down anywhere near him if it's within 30 feet of his body. He will find a way to put up a good ball. He'll find a way to touch the ball. He'll find a way to run a solid bit of offense.
He tracks this second ball down. Free ball for the Bearcats. Murphy. And inside, the ball eventually finished off by Rabidou. It's 15-11.
But to finish that, we're talking about a young man who plays literally a third of the time compared to everyone else on the court. Yet he was able to get MVP of the league because he controlled the court so well all year.
Roach to jump it up. Targeting Rarick inside Tarquinio. Gets the kill right back to make it a 5-point spread. And Joseph Muir was last year's Libero of the Year when they gave out that award. And he leads the conference in digs, 6th in the country. And he won in New York City as well. Former head coach Ray Bello felt he could be an All-American, and that idea has proven to be true as we get a misconnection on the set to make it 17-11. And so much of these players from out of the country or out of New York City want the New York City experience and a chance to play high-level volleyball. And they get it, and tonight is the stage where some of those dreams are realized.
And if you think about it, the schools in New York City that everyone think of when it comes to New York City are Columbia and NYU, and especially NYU when it comes to men's volleyball. However, these two schools that run up and down Lexington Avenue have proven over these past 15 years that they can compete at a high level and pretty consistently.
Sanchez looked for the quick tip dump. It's a 5-point Hunter lead. Cassidy makes it 6 again. So Ben Cassidy has had a very efficient first set plus, a junior from Agawam, Massachusetts, a 3-year starter, second year at outside hitter after being a middle blocker as a freshman. And he is from Western Massachusetts. Family lives in New York, and he wanted this city experience. As this ball will come in and hit the antenna. And Ben Cassidy has made it be now a 7-point Hunter lead.
Ben Cassidy has improved his serve receive to the point where he's now the #1 outside for this team.
Roach. And this ball coming our way, and Sanchez did well just not to crush our equipment.
Great swing by Roach coming out of the back row, hard cross court. Really, really solid spot. Sanchez almost saved that ball.
The broadcast is still on the air. Nick Sanchez, though, gave it a great effort as Baruch picks up the kill to make it 19-13. Outside Yasgarski, and that might be a big one to get his confidence going. A raw talent, about 6'5", out of Townsend Harris High School in Queens. They think he could really take off, but it may be next season for him.
And the reason is because he is so raw in his ability to play volleyball. He's still working on his serve receive, but you see the potential.
Roach, not much on it on the roll shot. Chance to extend now as Sanchez. In the middle, Rudin. That was blocked by Kohler. Roach through a pair of hands.
Right now, Stephen Roach is hitting and playing at a really high level. He's able to find good shots. If he gets a bad set, he's able to put the ball in play, giving Baruch another opportunity. I think right now they need someone else to step up and help him.
Sanchez quick dump, and he gets that one to fall. Well timed there by Nick Sanchez. And Hunter has pulled away. They can see the finish line now at 21-14.
And again, it's one of those things where even though you're executing the location of your serves, you've got to improve the speed and the tempo.
Gaudino right back. Fourth kill of the night for Nick Gaudino. He and Nathaniel Chin each have paced Baruch. As Baruch will bring in a sub just to serve here. This is Steven Lopez. He is from Port Washington, New York. He had been the more recent starter at outside hitter, but Chin got it today, but he's known as a very strong server. And they hope he could put together a run, and that is a good start.
And that's exactly what they need. A, attack someone other than Joseph Muir for Hunter on serve receive. B, serve a tough ball that forces Hunter to use their platform in an awkward way. Great serve.
And Lopez is only a freshman. He spent last year at Nassau Community College just as a student before transferring into the CUNY system. And eventually Kevin Edwards hopes he'll get the power kill added next year and mature, where he is going to be a lead kind of an outside hitter.
He is a super athletic young man who has great potential to improve his arm swing.
He drops it in front of Muir. Kohler drops it in front of Lopez.
The first time he executed the game plan, served someone other than Joseph Muir, put it in a tough spot. That time, a little loss in concentration, put it right at the guy you don't want touching the ball.
Yasgarski with the service error right back. So the momentum for Hunter has been slowed here late in the second. But Baruch has not been able to take advantage after climbing out of a 4-point hole in the first set to steal it 25-23. Sanchez, Trusenberry tipping, net called, and that is going to be against Jacob Marichal Rudin of Baruch.
It was a little bit of a lean. He overextended himself trying to play that ball, probably turned his shoulder into the net.
Kohler able to boom one at Gaudino. And there's some redemption for Samuel Rabidou. Middle blocker. He's even played right side this season because of his big imposing block.
Gaudino's pass was on the money. And Murphy, for a guy who hasn't set, I know I'm repeating this a lot, for a guy who hasn't set since his sophomore year in high school, making some great decisions.
Terrific serve there by Roach. It'll give Baruch a free ball. So Murphy across Chin. And the block falls in. That's Tarquinio.
Steven Tarquinio's neck is on the other side of the net right there. Ralph, if it's not a good set and you're unable to get that ball over his hands, it's gonna be a roof.
He also led the conference in blocking, second in hitting. Tarquinio's block there out of bounds off the swing from Roach to make it 24-19, but it remains set point for the Hunter Hawks.
Stephen Roach has changed his approach in terms of where he's going to hit the ball. Instead of trying to go hard, sharp seam under the block, he's just looking to tool high hands, and that is probably why he's hitting at such a high level right now.
Sanchez and Tarquinio will put it away. 25-19, Hunter responds loudly to take the second set to even up tonight's CUNY Tournament Championship match at 1 game apiece. We're back with third set action in just a minute on CUNYathletics.com.
I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's, yeah. Gotta go to Moe's. Yeah. Gotta go to Moe's.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that?
And now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice pull, and finish. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah.
Last year's CUNY Championship match MVP was this young man, Stephen Tarquinio, who's an education major. He wants to teach in New York City next year because he knows he can help. He's student teaching 2nd graders right now during the semester. A terrific player that's already 3-time first-team All-Conference, a 4-year starter. And he is someone that recruited his current head coach, Austin Voges, and someone that Austin says he allows you to push him pretty hard. And it's been his confidence that's also driven this team to be 26-6.
And of course, I've been earmarking his athleticism, but that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this young man. He is a leader. He is an engine. He drives this team. It's almost as if sometimes he wills the team to victories because of his ability to find the court, find the right shot, hit a smart ball on a tough set, or the most important thing that he does, he just dominates over the top of the net as a blocker. You can't even deny anything that he does, and Austin Voges knows that this young man is going to be very well missed next year.
Nick Gondino picks up the kill, and he has gotten himself going for the Baruch College Bearcats. That is his team-leading 8th. Ben Cruzenberry with 8 to pace Hunter. There's Michael Yazgarski. He can really jump. Only 2 matches he played in as a freshman at NYU. Last year did not get a chance to get in at all, so college experience to him is still something he's adding to his game as he just airmailed that service error, so we're tied at 2.
When you're a raw young talent like Jasgarski, one of the things that you get caught in, and a lot of athletes do this at every sport, is you rely on your athleticism almost too much. And you have to find a rhythm, and you have to find a way of getting your game to round out. And maybe that's what happened his second year at NYU. And coming here, he's learned to mature his game.
Brandon Kohler just had the kill. Roach comes right back with one. So a back and forth early start to the third set. And Stephen Roach, 8 kills so far. That is already much more than he had through 2 meetings this season against Hunter, where again, he hit minus 0.77. As Hunter won 6 of the 7 sets between the two in the regular season. Outside Roach, and he just added his 9th.
That was all on Brendan Murphy. He literally went reverse flow on a perfect pass in the zone, and everyone was expecting him to set the middle.
Cassidy, not a great set, and this is going to lead to an ace. 4 hits, and we get the ball that is stuck up in the ceiling. That'll be a tough chore for somebody tomorrow.
I think that ball's going to be up there for a while.
That makes it 5-3 Baruch here early in the third set.
But you can see how Baruch's ability to serve a tough ball and put that ball in an area where the libero, Joseph Muir for Hunter, can't get to it, helps their defense. And that's exactly what they need to execute right now and continue to execute at this level.
Tarquinio, he catches the end line. And against that ball to go for Stephen Tarquinio, his start has been excellent. That's his 7th kill. He is hitting over 500.
This young man is what we call a beast in athletics.
Ben Cruzenberry, as he drops it into the lap of Gaudino. Roach threw a double. Sanchez was on it. They'll say that there was a touch, and then they'll blow it dead for 4 hits. Sanchez initially thought there may have been a touch at the net. So he continued play from where I'm sitting, Pat, you and I think that ball clearly caught only tape.
Yeah, it completely caught only tape. The rule is, though, the referee cannot blow the whistle until that 4th contact has occurred. So Bruce Hennelt, the up ref, had to wait till that 4th contact happened before he blew the whistle. The Baruch players were a little upset about it, but that's how it has to happen.
Roach drives it at Cassidy. Cassidy the return, and Roach was a bit out of position. Not a big swing, but Ben Cassidy has made it a 1-point spread in the third.
A tough ball for Cassidy. I'm not sure how he got that past the block, but Stephen Roach moved, seeing where his shoulder was pointed up based on Cassidy's approach. And if it didn't hit the blockers, it would have been right in his arms.
Ben Cassidy now to serve. In the fall, he was playing setter in a modified 5-1. Eventually came back, got mono. So it took him some time until February to reclaim his position, as there is Tarquinio right back. So we're tied up at 6. But the Hawks had a lot more personnel back, as I said, 5 returning starters. They are missing sophomore Blake Hogan. He is out for the rest of the season with mono after playing in just a few matches and looking very tired, as the block inside on Brendan Murphy, and Hunter is back in front.
I was speaking with Coach Voges. Speaking with Coach Voges earlier about that, for Hunter about that earlier, and he said, well, my biggest fear was we have to send everyone to the nurse and send everyone to the hospital, because if one guy has mono, you're afraid that everyone's going to have mono.
And it turned out just 2 Hunter players had it. Murphy outside, pushed it too far, but Gaudino makes a good adjustment. Tarquinio up there by Roach. Cruzenberry, and he blasts it around Stephen Roach.
Really tough rally right there, back and forth. Once again, Joseph Muir shows why he's MVP of this conference, by being able to put the ball in a good position no matter what.
Down the middle, we're even no more. Samuel Rabidou got a nice running start. And Baruch back by 1 at 8-7. For the Bearcats, as we showed you Coach Kevin Edwards before, his two biggest keys, serving away from Joseph Muir. We have seen his team do that very good, avoiding the libero of Hunter. And then the second key was transition points.
And they've earned, I'll say maybe 50% of those transition points. Hunter's offense is just very, very, very consistent no matter what. And it is because of Joseph Muir. Because he does put the ball in the same spot almost every time. For Sanchez, the Hunter setter, it really does become almost rudimentary that he can pick and choose where he wants to set.
And if that's 50-50, that is not going to get it done for Baruch. They needed to win that statistic in Coach Kevin Edwards' mind. Cruisenberry. Murphy to the inside. He sets Marichal Rudin.
And that's exactly what we're talking about right there. Being able to win those long rallies, being able to find the best opportunity, best shot, put Hunter in an out-of-system situation where their middle cannot be run immediately and they can become predictable. As my old friend and former CUNY coach at CCNY and City Tech used to say, Jason Debilius, make the team vanilla. Make them homogenous. Know what they're going to do, know what the flavor is, and go with it.
So far, the taste is just 9-9 in the third set as Rerick in front of Semertsidis. Cruisenberry, and he has another. So Ben Cruisenberry has shown up really well today. The senior from Lincoln, Nebraska, has piled up the kills. He is approaching double figures at last check. As Rerick gives the point back, it's 10 apiece.
Cruisenberry, up until this point, was hitting low 400s. He just, unfortunately, if you think of volleyball hitting like baseball batting, he's unfortunately hitting high 300s right now. And if he's going to continue to hit high 300s, that's going to make Stephen Tarquinio's life a whole lot easier.
Steven Lopez back into serve for Baruch. Kohler, that ball upped. Sanchez, good touch outside to Cassidy. Murphy, Roach can only tip. Sanchez, the decision to Cruisenberry. And Baruch will get a dig. Out it comes Chin. Oh, how about that swing? Nathaniel Chin.
How about that set? Brendan Murphy taking a ball from a foot off the far right side antenna and pushing it fast, in tempo, in system to his freshman outside.
Lopez reties it with a service error. So neither team has been able to get a sustained run. Largest lead was 5-3 and 6-4 early in the third set for Baruch. As Kohler serves across. Roach, right blocked. Blocked right back at him. That's Tarquinio in that mix.
And again, it was one of those things where we know Hunter's game plan is to make sure Stephen Roach cannot beat them. So Brendan Murphy's got to start moving that ball again, just like he did earlier.
Roach this time hitting well off the net, and it works. Squeezing it through Cassidy and Tarquinio.
I think that ball went more off of Cassidy because Tarquinio was completely on the other side of the net. Cassidy's hands were a little far off the net. There was a little bit of a seam. Roach was able to find it.
They go right back at Cassidy. Tarquinio drops it in. Not much power on it, but the maturity in his game and how he has led them. Austin Vogt just told the story against Kane. He slammed the ball down, right back underneath him on the other side of the net, grabbed the ball from the ground after ricocheting, ran all the way to be ready to serve, essentially in one motion, just saying, let's go. And a key juncture in that match, and he has led so much vocally and by example, and of course recruiting the head coach to come here. So you know he has so much personally invested into tonight. Muir on the second ball. Cruisenberry another swing. And now it is Hunter by 2.
These are the rallies that we've mentioned that Baruch really needs to try to win and get more in-system contacts, more in-system sets. Hunter's just playing at a higher level starting now.
So Ben Crusenberry, like most Nebraskans, was a high school football player too, but got into club high school coaching. Roach, as he cut it across wide. And at 15-12, this feels like so much more as opposed to where we were back and forth for much of this third set.
Third sets are where teams start to establish themselves a little more consistently. The back and forth was working in Baruch's favor, and when they had that 1-point lead, they weren't able to kick it into another gear. Hunter, on the other hand, because of their experience, and this is just opinion, because of their experience, they were able to weather that storm, and now they're starting to climb. And let's see if Baruch has that same kind of fortitude.
Crusenberry drives it. It is Roach through a double block. So that's where Baruch goes when they needed a point. First meeting of the season that was won in 4 sets, January 21st by Hunter. Baruch ran a 5-1, but they couldn't finish late, as Kevin Edwards said. Second meeting, more recently in March, they ran the 6-2 offense. Tonight they've gone back to a 5-1. Sanchez, as Cassidy drops it in.
Ben Cassidy right now is finding the awkward shot. And when I say awkward shot, it's an in-system set, but it seems like he doesn't have his rhythm with his approach, but because he can elevate so well, he's finding that shot with his wrist and with his arm swing.
Short service. They run a combination as Chin got the swing. Tarquinio threw a one-on-one, and that was no contest.
No contest because Steven Tarquinio basically came off the net hard and drove right back to his setter, but Ben Cassidy started that with a great dig.
Rabidou, and Muir has to place it across. Roach, big swing, and it delivers a kill.
We talked about it in the opening where the right side for Baruch, number 2, Stephen Roach, had to be able to play at a higher level and raise his volleyball acumen to near All-American level. He needs his teammates to start helping him.
Tarquinio, look at that lift off.
Steven Tarquinio has swung thumb down or wrist away coming from the offside of the setter every time he's gotten that set. I'm waiting to see if Coach Edwards is going to make an adjustment and have his libero sit on that line.
Gaudino gets them closer to cut it to 3. But in a pivotal third set, Hunter has put together a mini run to grab hold at 18-15. We were most recently tied at 12. Here is Aaron Kim. He's a sophomore from Plainview, New York, out of that Long Island Power. Muir goes to Yezgarski, and he'll get that to drop in.
Yezgarski just went high, deep angle, high, deep seam over the block. It was almost as if you could see the Baruch defense part the Red Sea. Instead of going at the ball, they both faded away from the ball, just letting it drop.
Murphy, tough back set. Getting on, that was Cassidy. And an overpass there by Roach. Hunter trying to take a 5-point lead. Crusenberry. Kohler tipping. And a free ball coming the Hawks' way. Crusenberry, and the big block with Gaudino and Marichal Rudin.
That was the first time that Gaudino took away Ben Crusenberry's favorite shot, which is cut back seam, just under the inside arm of that block. He basically kept his arm, he dropped his right arm right into that seam, forcing Cruisenberry to maybe turn the ball a little harder than he wanted it.
Time called as they clean up a wet spot, as Ben Cassidy early in that rally with a terrific dive to keep it alive. Hunter trying to go back-to-back as CUNY men's volleyball champions. No one has won more titles than they have. 15 leads the way. A year ago, they trailed 2-1 before stunning a veteran and excellent Baruch team in 5 sets, including 15-7 in the 5th. And there was a tremendous amount of energy in the building last year. Cruisenberry off of hands again.
If you look at this well-experienced Hunter team, literally anyone on that court, when a kill is needed to change momentum or build momentum, they've been able to find someone to be able to do it.
Austin Rarick, and he rolled that one long. Baruch has managed to hang around. And they're going to summon Steven Lopez for his serving.
Steven Lopez's serve has actually been very effective. His first serve, his second and third serves, not as effective, but he's always been able to get at least one score on his opening serve.
Lopez played at a Port Washington High School. That's a Long Island traditional power 2. Kohler right back, got the quick set. So Brandon Kohler did not play in the semifinal for Hunter against Brooklyn College, as Austin Voges rested him and that shoulder. How does an athlete kind of deal with that? Everybody else is a little bit warm. He had to settle in.
Actually, he came in between sets and just gave himself a quick little power warm-up. Nothing major. But again, for a guy who's had so many injuries and has had to come back, it was just, for him, it was just another day.
They'll get Ben Cassidy on a net violation of Hunter to make it 3. Jacob Marichal Rudin. Outside Cruisenberry. Back to 4.
Ben Cruisenberry is cruising. He's hitting hard angle. He's finding the good shots. But one of the things that he's developed over the 4 years that we've watched him here in the CUNY playoffs is he's found a way to tool the block more often.
Roach and Cruisenberry with the dig. Baruch goes back to Roach, and then they block him. That's inbounds. Steven Tarquinio. Hunter about to take a 2-1 lead in the tournament championship. And hitting well off the line is Chin. Out to Ben Cassidy. Yes. It is set point now for the Hunter Hawks.
That last play where Stephen Roach cranked the ball, hard cross court, cross body, and it came back over for a free ball. And then Brendan Murphy went back to him, and he gets roofed, was pretty much demoralizing.
Roach. Roach tipping. No touch, it's out of bounds. And Hunter seizes control of the final. An impressive 25-18 in the 3rd set. The Hunter College Hawks will play for a championship when we come back on CUNYathletics.com.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Modell. Gotta go to Moe's. Modell. Yeah. Gotta go to Moe's.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for three. Oh, how about that?
Now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice move, and finished. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah.
Welcome back here to Hunter College. Ralph Bednarchik alongside Patrick Dietz joining you tonight on CUNYathletics.com for the 2017 CUNY Men's Volleyball Championship match. Longtime rivals facing off again. 11th time, Pat, in the last 13 years. It is these two teams. They've been very consistently the one or the two. In either way, there have been some thrilling matches. There's really been no consistent kind of finish, as you see the graphic, but they've always been a lot of entertainment, despite the coaches changing and the great players coming in and moving on.
And not just moving on, but also moving back and forth. There was a time where players from these two teams would literally transfer from school to school and end up playing against friends. And that's really where the legacy and the tradition of this CUNY championship comes from. These are guys who've played against each other since high school. These are guys who have played with each other on external club teams from college. And like myself and many others within the CUNY system, we grew up coaching these young men. Now then we get a chance to coach them in college. And it's one of those things where you fall in love with the tradition and you fall in love with the history, and then you fall in love with the play. Then you see how these young men develop to where they are right now, challenging nationally for championships.
Winner off to the NCAA tournament as Michael Yazgarski with the first swing is dunked there by Baruch. Cassidy from the back row with the fourth set underway. Nick Gaudino starts it well for Baruch.
And on top of that, you earmarked it. It's not always the number one that's won. Baruch was the number 2 seed 5 years ago and rallied back with then senior Daniel Levent before he became the coach and won in 5.
And Hunter last year was the 2 just based on a tiebreaker as Yazgarski evens it up at 1 as both Hunter and Baruch each finished 15-1 in CUNY play before the home and home scheduling was done away with. Now it's just one game you're playing against the 8 other CUNY schools. And the tiebreaker last year was elementary with Baruch having taken it. So they were both very even last year. But generally when it's been a 1 versus a 2, there's been some balance and some shockers in this night too.
And very few sweeps, but those sweeps, you look at the team and you go, wow, that team just played phenomenal. And right now, that's what we're seeing from Hunter. They're just playing phenomenal volleyball.
Gaudino through a block. Then Cassidy, and he punches it too far. So it is a 3-1 start for the Bearcats.
Look at the level of play Joseph Muir is giving Hunter. If you look at him, he's basically pushing the 2 other passers out of the way.
Gaudino a service error, 3-2. Baruch has had 8 service errors. Hunter with 11, both much higher than what the 2 teams typically have had, particularly in league play.
However, those service errors have been in order of executing their game plan, which is don't serve this person, go after these corners. And if you're making errors and This is one of my beliefs as a coach. I know a lot of coaches. If you're making errors towards your game plan, that's a positive.
Kohler, oh, he unloads on that one. He puts it into the seats.
Both Hunter middles, Kohler and Gardino, 17 and 10 respectively, whenever they've come from the offside, which is the backside of the setter, they have hit wrist away. I want to see if either coach is going to make an adjustment to that.
Cassidy with a hitting error. Despite that booming swing from Brandon Kohler, it is just 5-3 Baruch.
And this is where Stephen Roach has actually helped his team the most from the service line.
Ben Cassidy. And from the back row, Gardino. There's Tarquinio with the block. Then they swing over him. Baruch regroups. Inside, that's a nice drop shot. Samuel Rabidou.
Samuel Rabidou has run what we call a gap set, which is somewhere between the 3 zone and the 1 zone, which is right on top of the setter, and has found that cut back seam away from the middle blocker every time.
Roach just missed.
His toss wasn't as high as the last 2 serves, and he got a little under that ball, and it sailed deep.
Now Ben Crusenberry, who has 12 kills. Stephen Roach has 12 to pace Baruch. He swings again. Crusenberry. Chin, a triple block. Stephen Tarquinio gets the credit, but that was swung into a wall.
There's nothing you could have done about that. It was actually a very good set. I think Nathan Chen should have really just looked a tool high instead of trying to swing low on that ball.
Crusenberry, and now a miscommunication between Chin and Gardino. And Hunter has rallied back to even up the 4th.
This is where you want to try to park the car, tighten up, ratchet up the lug nuts on the wheels so that they don't go flying off.
Good low serve by Crusenberry. And a joust will be won by Cassidy. 4-0 run by Hunter.
This is again where Baruch needs to settle down. I think they're pressing. They were in the lead, and they're scared that the lead's starting to get away from them.
Murphy, the senior, trying to regroup them. Roach and Baruch now all out of sorts. And you wonder, when is the timeout coming for Kevin Edwards?
If I know Kevin Edwards, he's going to hold off on that timeout and see if his guys are going to fight through.
Ben Crusenberry awaiting. He's become a much better all-around player this season. Just someone that former head coach James Pompeo said he just hates to lose. Just one of those players. Any drill in practice, any competition. Tarquinio hasn't lost much in his career. It's now 9-6 Hunter. Finally, the Baruch timeout.
Coach Kevin Edwards for Baruch gave them one more chance. They failed. Timeout. Let's reset. Let's regroup.
9-6 Hunter in the 4th set, seeking a 2nd consecutive championship on CUNYathletics.com.
Hi, I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
there is senior Nicholas Sanchez from the Environmental Studies High School of New York. A 2-year starter, leads the conference in assists. 2-time first-team All-CUNY, but it's been a little bit of a winding road for Sanchez, as they're out of the timeout. As a big swing for Samuel Rabidou to make it 9-7.
Sanchez came in as a possible setter, but then they made him a libero, and then when the libero thing wasn't working, then they moved him to the right side because he has the ability to hit. 2 years ago, he became the setter for this team after a transferred out. And sure enough, he leads them to a championship berth. And then the next year, he leads them to a championship. And now this year as a senior, he's again having to reacclimate himself to a brand new coach, a brand new system, but it's the same result. And that's because of his maturity and his level of understanding volleyball and growing. Nicholas Sanchez has proven to me that he is one of the top setters in CUNY history.
Out to Stephen Roach. This lands in. 10-8. That came just seconds after Steven Tarquinio made a tremendous adjustment for a kill. And Baruch has started to bring on more serving specialists just to get Hunter off balance. Here's Aaron Kim again. Usually comes in at very crucial times. This would be one of them. But Sanchez gets a good pass. Murphy out to Gaudino. Can only hit a roll shot. Sanchez with his dump. Tarquinio with the block on Marichal Rudin. Out to Yazgarski. 11-8 Hunter.
Good rally, solid play, a little haphazard on Baruch's side, but every time Hunter had an opportunity to run something in system, they were able to run their combinations and get more one-on-one looks in those transitional plays.
Tarquinio, good floating serve. Stephen Roach, right down the line.
Stephen Roach is playing phenomenal volleyball right now. He's had to work with some really inconsistent sets, but he has done what we knew he needed to do for this match. He stepped up his game. Gaudino needs to step up his game. Nathan Chin needs to step up his game. The serve receive needs to improve. Brendan Murphy and Stephen Roach have basically carried this Baruch team. However, they do need someone else to step up and play for them.
Murphy, good short service, joust at the front. It was muscled across by Gaudino. And Gaudino swinging, and a rare swing that got around the terrific libero, Joseph Muir.
Joseph Muir saw his arm and read the right location, just moved his body a little incorrect, just off his wrist, out for a point for Baruch.
Murphy continues. Tip by Kohler. What great hustle by Kyriakos Semertsidis. But then that ball is shanked by Chin after the terrific effort.
That's just lack of concentration. It's an easy free ball, focus, get that ball right back in the middle of the court.
Roach now on the near side. And Kohler on the second ball. Gaudino. And the one-on-one block out of bounds by Crusenberry. No, they'll say a point. They're going to point to Hunter here. The down official, Russell Rodriguez. And the up official, Bruce Hennelt, points to the elbow. Here's Russell Rodriguez that had the call right in front of him. And he indicates it's a Hunter point.
What happened was on that block, which was a great swing by Roach, the ball actually ricocheted and hit Roach on the foot on the way back. But because it happens in such a bang-bang way, the lines referee called out, yet Russell Rodriguez saw the contact.
So that makes it 13-10, and that frustration is taken out on the ball by Jacob Marichal Rudin.
Don't worry what a referee calls, play the game. Refs have jobs. Yours is to put the ball away.
Muir tracks that ball deep. Cruzenberry, net violation here against Baruch.
Great dig. Great dig on a net violation call.
Marichal Rudin, this time Muir is in position. But the joust, look at that. Nathaniel Chen.
Nathaniel Chen elevating on the line. Ben Cruzenberry has a very solid vertical when he has a full approach. One of his weaknesses is that because of his height and his stocky arms, he's not able to elevate and penetrate high on the net, and Chen took advantage of that.
Kohler, that's off the shoulder of Marichal Rudin. And the lefty Cruzenberry, it's blocked out of bounds.
There was that location we were talking about with that wrist away, thumb down swing from a middle coming from the offside. Marichal Rudin was in the right spot. Good dig. Baruch was able to get a swing off of it, but not a terminal swing.
Rabidou right back.
This has become a jab, jab kind of match right now, Ralph. Both of these teams are able to run in system off serve receive. Hunter has the lead. Baruch needs to counterpunch.
Baruch has not led in this fourth set, and Roach almost committed a violation, stepping awkwardly. But Baruch will get the ball again. There's an overpass. Sanchez finally organizes, and that's off of Cruzenberry, off the hands of Baruch and out.
You would have thought that based on that toss and that horrible opening with the serve, Baruch would have been completely out of it, but they were actually very much in control up until Joseph Muir had the opportunity to pass that free ball.
So Cruzenberry with a line drive at Semertsidis. Sanchez all the way across. Cassidy, very difficult adjustment. That was around the other side of the antenna, so that'll make it 16-14.
This is where if you want to be a championship team, if you want to make it to the NCAAs, this is where you have to start finding that next level of execution in terms of what are we going to do, how are we going to put our game plan into effect. Nate Chin needs to serve hard down the line.
Tarquinio, and the officials say it's out. Bruce Hanelt, the ump official, had a good look at it.
Two adjustments that have been made right now. Tarquinio's coming around from the strong side of the setter. They double block the wrist away, force him to completely turn his body. Great change. Now they have someone sitting in zone 5, which is where the libero is standing, to take away the same move.
Cassidy into a double block, and Cruzenberry able to save that ball with his right hand. Baruch has climbed within one. Cruzenberry, and now Baruch has tied it.
These are the types of rallies, it sound like a broken record, but these are the types of rallies that Baruch really needs to continuously win. These small point rallies where it's going to come down to putting pressure on the team, on the other team, to execute better than you.
Here's a timeout after they clean up a wet spot. Austin Voges thought about it, and he is going to talk it over here for the Hawks. We're even at 16 late in the fourth set. What a finish when we come back on CUNYathletics.com.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
First-year head coach Austin Voges pursuing a championship. He's never won a title as a head coach at the high school level, was a 3-year assistant at Stevens Tech. But he was looking for a head coaching job. Thought this was a great opportunity with the team they had coming back. And he was named Coach of the Year. There is the slide run by Tarquinio.
Austin Voges comes from a good, strong lineage of coaching. He worked with Pat Dwalski over at Stevens Tech. He himself came from the Long Island roots of LIVBC, coaching young men like Steven Tarquinio at the club level, at the high school level. He understands the game so well that he knew what he had going in, and he just wanted to work what he had, knowing full well that he was going to get the most out of each and every one of these kids.
Tarquinio, and they finally block him. That's Samuel Rabidou.
Once again, they're committing on the wrist away shot of the middles, forcing them to completely turn their bodies. And now what's going on is the middles are going to be challenged against another middle, which helps Baruch's blocking out.
Aaron Kim tied at 17 in the fourth, but a perfect pass by Muir. Roach. No touch. The shot missed the back line.
Roach, I think, was looking to hit high hands and just missed. Great serve by Kim. And on top of that, great dig, putting them in a good situation.
Chin, not a great pass, and it's going to lead to a low percentage swing, but it'll lead to a kill anyway. Off of hands, Stephen Roach picks up his 15th. That is tied with Ben Crusenberry for a match high.
Made the correction from the last time. Bad set situation, high swing, but this time just followed through with his set.
The touch by Kohler. Hunter back up by one. It's been a long time since we've said the name Brandon Kohler, but that is his 10th kill. He is the 4th different Hawk to reach double figures.
That just shows the balance that Sanchez has been able to put with this team.
Gaudino, big dig in the back row there by Muir. We saw that all of last year as he had 15 digs, but in a lot of ways single-handedly led the comeback. We're talking about a libero to do that. There's Muir again. And Yasgarski with the block out of bounds. No, they'll say it's in. That was one that Muir could not save.
Both players followed the ball. They thought it was out. The Lions referee saw it in. Joseph Muir, almost as if he just wills the ball to come up. He's just sending his body no matter what, sacrificing just for the contact.
Now it's Steven Lopez's turn to come off the bench. Kohler. And this one coming our way and out. 20-19, and the last two services by Kim and Lopez, young players, they both served the Player of the Year and the All-American in the back row.
And that's not executing your game plan at all. You don't want this guy touching the ball. If you have to overswing and hit it out, trying to get it to someone else, do it.
There's Muir again, diving on that second ball. Gaudino, out of bounds.
Short dig by the libero. If you're going to use your hands to dig a ball, you've got to jack that ball up to the ceiling, give everyone an opportunity to transition deep and run your offense.
Now the defensive specialist, Austin Rarick. He is from Staten Island. Had a great finish to their NYU win just a couple weeks ago. Roach is blocked, and now the lead for Hunter is 3. With a potential championship saving timeout called now by Baruch.
Joseph Muir dug a cross-body shot from the right side, falling away from the net. It's rare that can happen. I mean, you just have to be at a different level to be able to move and dig a ball that's being driven away from you. So just the fact that he was able to do that, phenomenal. However, the inability of Baruch to convert when they do get a good dig and when they do get a good play is what's hurting them right now. They need to find a way, Baruch College needs to find a way to transition and get solid points off of bad digs.
Hunter hitting .299 for the match, led by Ben Crusenberry's 15 kills. 15 kills for Stephen Roach. He's provided the volume. He's hitting .156, much better than he did in the first two meetings.
And again, he's stepped up his game. Brendan Murphy has stepped up. The right side and the center for this team has stepped up. I mean, Rabidou has stepped up. There are players who've stepped up. It's the wings right now. The one fear that Coach Edwards from Baruch had were the outsides of his team not being able to match Hunter's outsides, and that is what's coming to fruition right now.
Hunter looking to get back to the NCAA tournament as they inch closer. Out it comes to Crusenberry. Tip shot goes down. 16th of the night.
I think Ben Crusenberry's playing for tournament MVP right now.
A year ago, the Hawks were swept at Wentworth in the first round of the NCAAs, but this is now a team that has gone through that experience and beat Wentworth in the regular season. Gondino can only tip. Out to Ben Cassidy. It is now championship point for Hunter.
Rally after rally after rally. You've seen Hunter's ability to play in and out of system and find great swings. That's solid coaching by Austin Voges, first-year coach for Hunter. And again, the will of this team to want to make it happen.
Roach keeps Baruch alive with his 16th. But this Bearcats team that only brought back 3 starters. Big recruiting class Kevin Edwards has lined up for 2018. These two teams likely will meet again. Here's the swing by Kohler. Sanchez. And Kohler mistimed his jump. So the match lives on.
First misconnection between Sanchez and a middle. And it wasn't because of the pass. It was definitely because I think Sanchez wanted to go someplace else with the ball.
Who will get the call? Sanchez to Kohler. Free ball. Can they get it to the senior Kohler? They will. There it is. Hunter has gone back-to-back. They're returning to the NCAA tournament as they capture a CUNY best 15th conference tournament championship.
Right now, you're looking at two teams who have great respect for each other. There might not be a lot of love there, but there's a lot of respect for these two teams with each other. And as I've mentioned before, these young men have played with and against and around each other basically the past 4 years. This Hunter team, though, was on a mission. They knew, and somewhere in the back of their heads, they knew that the only way they were going to get to the NCAAs is if they played in. They did not want to lose an opportunity. They didn't want to leave it up to chance. They had their best team, and they worked their game plan. Baruch played an awesome match, but Hunter was a team of destiny this year for the CUNY championship.
25-21 in the 4th set. Senior Brandon Kohler, who came back from shoulder surgery, didn't get a chance to celebrate in last year's championship. He gets to celebrate the clinching point as Hunter hits .299 for the night. After dropping the first set 25-23, they roared back and won 25-19, 25-18, and that 4th set just now 25-21. Stephen Tarquinio is the most outstanding player for the 2nd straight season. The Hawks enter the NCAA tournament at 27-6. The latest chapter of this rivalry has closed, but you better believe there's going to be a lot more coming in the future. We'll step away. We're going to come back with championship celebration and reaction. Congratulations to the Hunter Hawks, once again, CUNY men's volleyball champions in 2017 on CUNYathletics.com.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Modell's. Gotta go to Moe's. Modell's. Yeah. Gotta go to Moe's.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that?
And now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice pull, and finished. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah. Guides the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Harani.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
For the second straight year and the first time since 2005, Hunter has gone back-to-back in CUNY men's volleyball. Tonight, climbing out of a 1-set-to-none deficit, and they're going back to the NCAA tournament. Ralph Bednarczyk back with you on CUNYathletics.com. Head coach Austin Voges, a champion, and for the second straight year, tournament MVP, senior Stephen Tarquinio, 14 kills tonight. Stephen, you knew Coach Voges going back to when you were 13. What did you see in Coach that made you think and believe that tonight was possible?
It's that he believed in us. Like he came in like in December, not even knowing us at all, and he goes, "What are you guys' goals for this year?" And we're like, "We want to be nationally ranked. We want to win a CUNY championship. We want to go all the way to a national championship." And he came right in and rode our goals until where we are right now. And we're just getting started. This is the beginning of the postseason of a lifetime for us. We're really excited.
First set, a little shaky. You had gotten off to such a great start before you allowed them to hang around. What did you guys have to change there to make sure that there were no heartbreakers tonight?
Yeah, just like we have to realize that we needed to respect Baruch a little bit more. It's a big rivalry, and the emotions are huge, and we let them get on their emotions and try and beat us in that first set, but we had to get right out back on top and take the next 3. All on our energy and our emotion, entirely, yeah.
And lastly, Stephen, last year you guys battled and were swept by Wentworth before you got them back in the regular season. What do you think this team took from last year's NCAA experience that you can use with you to go to the next round and beyond next week?
Whew, that's not happening again, I can tell you that much. We were going very far. We learned, last year was the first time in that big environment, that big national environment, but we've been there all year. We're number 9 in the nation right now because we beat nationally ranked teams. We've been under pressure before. So we're going into this first round with Out for blood. We're out for blood. We really are. We really are.
Stephen, go celebrate with teammates. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stephen Tarquinio, let's bring in his head coach, Austin Voges. Well, Coach, you took over a brand new group. A lot of learning to do, both them of you and you of them. Why did this come together so efficiently?
I did know Steve prior to coming here, but these guys put in the work themselves. In the preseason, they were putting in some work. I came in late towards December and had a conversation with them. They told me what they wanted, what they expected from me. And then, I did what I could for them, but they put in all the hard work themselves.
Stephen Tarquinio had 14 kills. You've known him since he was 13. Put into words maybe what it means to you to see a young man grow up to be such a dominant force on this team and a dominant personality.
Not just a force and the personality. He is such a great leader for this team. These guys really look up to him. Like I said earlier to them when we had a huddle, I said, listen, Steve's not going to let you guys lose. Follow him, get on his back, and follow him. And he did the job.
And lastly, Coach, tonight wasn't completely easy. First set, you drop it. What did your team have to rally back to do to make sure of tonight?
That's what they've done all year. They work hard in practice, not just in practice. They come to the games and, it pays off. They weren't going to, especially being at home, they didn't want to lose this match. They wanted it.
Coach, congratulations. You got a trophy to go grab. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Austin Voges, now a champion at Hunter. We're coming back to wrap things up tonight on a terrific night on CUNYathletics.com.
Hi, I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that?
Now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice move. And finished. Nice pass, Core with the jam.
Yeah. Guys, the ball up to the near post, and there to hit the ball into the goal is Mustafa Harani.
And a slam by Sidney Wilson.
Hi, I'm John Starks. What's going on? I'm Victor Cruz.
My name is David Diamante.
Hi, this is Larry Fitzgerald.
Hello, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Backpack Broadcasting.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Modell. Gotta go to Moe's. Modell. Yeah. Gotta go to Moe's.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that?
Now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.
Trip, nice move, and finished. Nice pass.
Welcome back tonight on CUNYathletics.com with Patrick Dietz, Ralph Bednarczyk. The celebration is on for the Hunter College Hawks for the 2nd straight season. They are CUNY men's volleyball champs, and for the 16th time in this tremendous program's legacy and history. Tonight, some turbulence, Patrick. They dropped the first set, being surprised a little bit by Baruch 25-23 before perhaps their experience took over and carried them to another title.
And it is that experience. It is the reason that they are who they are. They won last year based on a drive of 3 or 4 players, Stephen Tarquinio, Ben Cruzenberry, and Joseph Muir, just elevating the level of play for them for last year. And it just repeated itself this year. However, they established themselves after that little falter. They established themselves almost immediately and just carried themselves to that championship.
Yeah, several players are playing at All-American level, according to head coach Austin Voges, but in particular the leadership. You cannot dismiss the job the middle blocker Stephen Tarquinio has provided to this team. A 4-year starter, 3-time first-team All-Conference. And tonight, I think at key points, we saw him dominate the net on both ends.
And that's an understatement when you say dominate. This is a young man who, you look at him, you hear him speak, he's very boisterous, very fun-loving, but he is a killer. What he looks to do is eliminate what you can do across the net, yet give you every opportunity to be successful, reaching across the net, hitting over the block, and just being that uplifting pillar for your team, and that's exactly what Stephen Tarquinio was.
And then we can't forget about Ben Cruzenberry tonight. Cruzenberry with 14 kills, a senior all the way from Lincoln, Nebraska, is now a 2-time champion, taking his team to the NCAAs. He was huge on the outside.
And this is a kid who we've watched for 4 years go to 4 championships, win 2 of them, and he's changed something about his game each time. And when you can do that over a 4-year span at the collegiate level, not only are you becoming a better volleyball player, you're just becoming a better leader for your team. Now the question is, can he do that going into the NCAAs? One of the things that Hunter had a problem with, especially with Wentworth last year until they had the revenge this year, was finding that ability to be consistent in
the next level of play, which is the NCAAs.
And their next stop is in the first round of the NCAA tournament at a team and place to be determined, but the Hawks will be there at 27-6 after capturing the program's latest championship, the 16th in this tremendous program's history, tonight in 4 over Baruch. 4 different players in double figures, tournament MVP being Stephen Tarquinio, completing their CUNY careers in fantastic style on their home floor. That does it for our entire crew tonight. For Patrick Dietz, my name is Ralph Bednarczyk, thanking you for watching the 2017 CUNY Men's Volleyball Championship on CUNYathletics.com.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's. Yeah. Gotta go to Moe's.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
Evans for 3. Oh, how about that?
Now the Dolphins break in as it's Wizakowski who drills it in.